So thanks everyone for joining us. Today we have a very special guest with us, Luca Marzorati. Um, I've known Luca for a few years now. He's one of the big stars in the cyber recruiting space, recruiting in general. But when we catch up, it's always about cyber. And I reached out to him and I said, Luca, would you be open to come and join us and talk a little bit about the cyber market, anything that we can do to help people that are looking to join this space? We know it's not easy, but at least Luca can give us some direction of what he's seeing out there, and also some tips for interviews and so on and so forth. So let me just jump to the next slide. Oh, before we get to that, so let me give Luca the opportunity to introduce himself. Luca, I'll pass it on to you.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Adri. Well, thanks for the kind intro. One of the big star in in the cyber recruiting. I hope so. I hope so. I like to think about myself like that. But no, in Australia. So I'll give you like a little bit of intro about myself.
And your
This started
business
in
as well.
recruiting like yeah. Started like Northstar Partners not long ago, 6 months live, operational for like probably 7 months. Before I decided to take a sabbatical and travel around your side of the world, Adrian, in South America for quite a while, for 8 months. And it's something I needed to do before starting my own business and embrace this new challenge. But yeah, I've been recruiting in Australia for 8 years. Started in standard infrastructure, cloud, etc. And then I fell in love with the cyberspace, like I presume all of us here. And I started to build my desk, my network, and my remit into the cyberspace. And of course, 8 years in the making, 3 companies, and now I own my company with my co-founder and Northstar Partners, and we play with 3 pillars: cybersecurity, of course, data and AI. They go end to end, and the executive leadership at that level, the executive search. So if you put cyber, data and AI, and executive, you basically have 90% of the board discussion these days all across the globe, isn't it?
100%, 100%. Awesome. Thank you so much, Luca. And the idea today for those joining us is it's an AMA. Ask me anything, right? So I do have some questions that I want to ask Luca. So perhaps the idea is I'll start with the questions I have, and you guys please jump in and smash this guy, get as much knowledge as you can from him, because this is a great opportunity, right? So, um, as usual, a bit of house rules. Since we're a large group, let's keep the mics muted. Raise your hand to speak. We'll follow the order. Recording and posting on YouTube, English only. Don't be shy. We're not here to judge. We're here to learn. If you don't feel comfortable speaking, send your question via chat. We always go through the questions via chat as well. And it's Friday, 12:07 p.m. Guys, it's Friday. So let's make it fun and relaxed and like an enjoyable time for everyone. So quick intro, we've just done that. Topics, that's exactly what we're going to talk about: recruiting and any questions you have about the cyber career. And it's a Q&A, right? So it's an AMA. So we'll start straight away from a Q&A. But
Boom.
look, so let me start with my leading question here. So what, in your vision, what's the most common entry-level roles for someone starting in the cyberspace? And what are the skills and certifications that these people should have to get
Yeah.
started?
So that's a fun question, Adrian. Me and you, we ask ourselves like this question quite a lot of times. So when they ask me, is there an entry level role in cyber? And I always say, no. Long story short, there's not such a thing. Cyber is there are like junior role in cybers, yes, but if you believe that you can start in cyber without having an understanding of what IT and how IT works, or like how risk compliance, etc., depending on the space that you want to play, works. It's very hard. It's going to be very, very hard. It's like starting playing in Serie A or in Premier League without doing the groundwork in the youth sector, sorry, or are playing in, Serie C in a championship and all these kind of things. You need to do the groundwork before starting in cyber. Unfortunately, that's a matter of fact. It's not me telling you the sad story, or like, this is the real world. Unfortunately, it's like that. There's a lot of academic support that you can have, 100%. There's a lot of like community work, there's a lot of like help that you can use and leverage, but definitely like cyber is not a really really entry level thing, and you can tell about the market. I won't stress you about like data about the market right now in Australia, the forecast, the 200,000 role that is going to be filled in the next 2 to 5 years. You already know these kind of things. I really don't want to talk about that because I think is like useless. Yeah, as I say, cyber is not going anywhere. That's a good thing. Cyber is embedded in any kind and any area of tech, and it's not going to go anywhere in the future. Companies are more and more interested and have cyber integrated in their business function. Why? Because as a matter of fact, you're gonna get hacked. Simple as it is. Like company are gonna get hacked, people are gonna get hacked. It's more about how we educate, we help to bring Australia and companies we work for like to a more mature level. Answering your question, Adri, so entry level low roles, like let's call it like the most in demand roles for people that are entering into cyber are the standard SOC, SOC analyst, GRC. GRC is a big space, compliance. For me, GRC, when they say GRC is not technical, for me, it's not true. And GRC for me, governance, risk, and compliance is the most embedded area across the whole technical side of cyber and IT. So that's definitely something. Pen testing, offensive security as well. A bit harder to get into that straight away because to break something, you need to know what to break. Simple as it is. So it's probably better to start from the defensive side, so you understand how it works, where the attack comes from, where the threat comes from, and understanding how the dynamic works, attack and defense. And then probably like if you really like it, definitely penetration testing, threat intel, and all this kind of thing on the red side of things. Those are definitely in demand with all the security engineering that goes with it if you're very technical. And then all the other cybersecurity support. There's a lot of focus on Microsoft as well. The Microsoft stack, it's an easy way to start if you come from a system admin background or a 365 background. It's you come from a support, you know how it works. That's definitely something you should focus on if you have that experience. And that's to be honest, that's it in terms of like entry level roles. In terms of skills, definitely you need to know how networking works, whole side, how infrastructure work. So networking fundamentals, I would say cloud security basics, all these kind of things. A bit of automation, Python, Shell, PowerShell, all this kind of thing that always help to automate from a cybersecurity engineering and even in a SOC capacity. That's always very, very high regarded. Incident triage, how it works, the triaging from a threat perspective. And then if you are very interested in compliance, ISO 27001, that's not going anywhere. The NIST framework and all the other framework that are coming up. There, it's like SOC Act, SOC 2, PCI DSS, depending on the industry. But if you want to work in a for example, if you come from finance, you're probably coming from a highly regulated environment already, so you should be already like familiar with all these kind of things. And then, as I say, like Microsoft XDR stack, all these kind of things are definitely useful. Hope I answered a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Any certifications that people should pursue, like starting, let's say, entry-level certifications that the market is looking for?
Look, the market is not really looking for certification. It's more about how you leverage those certification and the importance that what you're gonna get from those certification. Because I can tell you now, like if I see someone a CV with like listed all the certification, but there's nothing valuable and tangible when I meet the person, I don't care if you had the certification. I really don't. And like me as a recruiter, the hiring manager as an hiring manager, or the practice manager or the talent acquisition person inside the internal in the company, they don't care. They really don't care. Like the myth of certification, is a very big debate here. We can go on and on about it like for a long time. And there are certifications, like a lot of like very good, the GIAC, SANS, uh,
Security
Microsoft
Plus.
Security Plus, Microsoft, depending on they have different scale of certification. The Azure's for security, the
Azure
Azure
fundamentals.
identity, fundamentals, AWS as well, AWS security, all this kind of thing. It really depends what you want, but it's more about like the real experience that you get, like project, capture the flag, hack the box, all these kind of things. For me, those are more valuable. And when I talk to hiring manager, this is what they're looking for. They're looking for the people and what's behind the CV. Of course, certification prove the point. Don't get me wrong, but they are not essential. That's what I want to portray here.
Awesome, awesome. So we have some people with their
Oh
hands
yeah.
raised. Alina, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, it's just a sore point on certification and like as like you just said in your experience, in your opinion, it's not important. And yet every single job without cyber, like I'm interested in governance and reporting side of it, compliance.
Yep.
Every single one of them lists like, I don't know, usually 5, 6 degree certifications that are a must. And when
Yeah.
you talk to them, they said, oh, don't even bother applying if you don't have those listed in your resume because you just be automatically excluded. So there's a bit of a something don't, and there is a big debate about it as well. You know, we do, like a lot of companies say, we'll do look for experience and then we'll provide you the pathway to certification as you come on board and you prove that, you know, yes, there is a desire, there is a knowledge, there is a potential, but yet don't bother applying for a job if you don't have this piece of paper. But it's like, why do I get this piece of paper if I don't have a job in cyber, if I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it? So just, you know, I have like 10, 12 pieces of paper that just I did it because I was interested in something back in the days, but now it's just a piece of paper lying around. I don't use it. I forgot all about AWS, and yet I do have a certificate that I've done the cloud security and all of that. So it's just how do you find that ground, how do you middle point where you do get something, but then if you don't get something, you still have a chance to move into the industry. So it's just,
Yeah. Yeah.
do
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
to be at the right place at the right time? Is that the
Well, I mean, in a short answer, that's definitely yes. But like in everything, you need to be there. You need a little bit of luck is always good. However, like luck follow who apply the most effort always. For example, in GRC, certification might help just because GRC, like usually you do an audit, you do an assessment, and then like you help implement the framework in this particular. Let's take like ISO 2701. If a consulting business or a business is going through ISO 2701 certification, if you have like a ISO 2701 lead auditor or lead implementer certification, that helps because showcase that you've done it already, you know what to do, you know what to look, you know the checklist, and then like you implement, you know how to give advice on how to implement those kind of framework. They cost a lot. You probably know it.
Yep.
It's worthy if you really dead set, all right, I want to play in GRC, I need to do it. I'm really dead set on like pursuing that career in that space. Yes, that might help. That definitely that not might help, that helps. Because like first of all, it's screen out and narrow down the search for like recruiter, for example. Because like, keyword, LinkedIn, Seek, whatever, you put down the keyword skills, CISSP. I know someone like put in the chat as well. CISSP, guys, it's already almost top level of like security. If you can do it without experience, I salute. But I don't know. And Adri, correct me if I'm wrong. I hardly see someone like coming into security with already a CISSP. I would have some doubts.
No, absolutely not. So I've done the CISSP in 2006, so probably some of you were not even born by then. But I had plenty of experience in this space by then. But there are two things to it. So they're testing, it's like a driving test, right? It's not testing if you know how to drive, it's testing if you know how to pass the test, right? And there are lots of topics there that like you're never going to use in your life, but you need to know about them, at least like superficially. So CISSP, I would say it's something for when you have been in this industry for, let's say, at least 5 years, and I think that's part of the certification process as well, so that things at least make sense when you're sitting for that test. So not definitely not an entry level certificate. So we have Danielle with her hand raised, and then Conrad, and we have a question from Finn. So Danielle, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes. Hey, Luca. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is touching base in the CV and the certifications as well. Like, I already work in IT, but let's say if I want to transition to a security engineer role, or even a SOC, like you mentioned that the certifications are not super important when you're checking the CVs. So, and you mentioned as well that people can put their score on Hack the Box and things like that. But can you dig a little bit more in what would you like to see for someone that, needs to build up that CV and doesn't have the experience yet, or are you looking to see like lab experiences or mini projects that someone has done in their lab environment, or if you can, give a little bit more context on that, that would be great. Thank you.
100%. And I'm glad you asked, Danielle. Thank you, because that was my next slide. It's look, let's talk about CVs. So let's be clear. CVs is the key to open the door. It doesn't get you a job. It does get you the opportunity to get an interview that potentially will get you a job. So let's leverage that as much as we can, because it's our key. If you don't have the right key, you don't open any door, first of all.
So
However,
Luca, sorry to interrupt you. Do you want to share your screen? Is there a slide pack that you want to share, or you just want to talk to
oh
it?
yeah, I can do that if you
Okay,
want to.
no, yeah. Let me just
Yeah.
stop sharing and perhaps you share yours. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. Here we go. Should be all right. Can you all see?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Yeah. All right. Build a CV that speaks do. Hopes it makes sense. All right. Let's go back on this first. What employer look for, and then we dig into the CV, right? Employer looks for when they hire like a junior, they look for more the soft skills. And the soft skills, I mean, like curiosity, the classic soft skill, the most important that are very relevant in any role, but especially in cybersecurity, are curiosity, problem-solving mindset, communication, influencing skills, ability to learn, resilience, All this kind of stuff are like super relevant, especially if you work in a SOC, especially resilience in that. What they want to look for, as I say, not really certification, and I put it here, is that the practical exposure. Of course, it's difficult when you don't have the actual experience, you come from a graduate or a different job, but like think about strategically, think about like what you can transfer in your next current role, your transferable skill, your like intangible. Those are the most important thing that like employer like these days looking for, and trust me, are starting to understand that as well. Before 7 years ago, yeah, certification were like important, everybody was like running the gold rush for certification. Now it's different. Why? Also because AI, is narrowed down all the stuff, is flattening all this plateau. Like if you can't make a CV today that is relevant to the job description, I'm a bit concerned. Because you can do it with ChatGPT, you can do it with Claude, you can do it with Grok, you can do it with Lashat, whatever. Like name generative AI, you can do it. Like like and from a flip side, all the ATS system that like company use are screening CV using AI and comparing that. So what's left? What makes you different? You as a person, your transferable skills, your hands-on lab, the initiate approach, project, the communication, the teamwork, the network, the community you're part of, all this kind of thing that are actually your practical exposure. So to dig into how to build a CV, it's about how you communicate it. It's about, and you can prompt it if you want it. Like, you can use tools to prompt it and like, all right, give me a more like a human touch, but the building of the CV need to come from you. Nobody knows yourself better than you do. So you need to do an introspective journey before putting everything on paper. When people ask me, oh, I can't build a CV, I need to ask someone. Yeah, you can ask for advice. But I always say, like, as I say, nobody knows you better than yourself. So ask yourself those questions, pen and paper, write down what's your strength, do a SWOT analysis of yourself, and then put it down on a CV. There is a framework that like, yeah, a structure that always work, and you start with a summary. You start with a summary, and that's where you put your why. Who you are, 5, 10 lines, not too much, and like why you want to get into cyber and why what you want to get into that specific area of cyber that you apply for. Then all the relevant soft skills and why they are relevant. If you put like soft skills, the classic, I'm a problem solver, I'm communicator, whatever. Why are they relevant to the job that you apply? Put it on paper. You need to fill a page. You don't have the experience. Put it on paper. That's what they're looking for. And then one thing that I really, I'm never tired to stress about it, ask for referral, for recommendation. You do a act the box, you do a capture the flag, you have like a mentor, ask them, hey, can you put a recommendation for my CV, please? Like you doing this, ask for myself or Adri, hey, can you put a recommendation like for because I done this project, what do you think? Da, 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 da. Or your teacher, you done like a good project that you receive a high score. Ask, and put it on paper. People look for that. I got one candidate that got a job from New Zealand because she had a recommendation from like her previous manager, a very good recommendation. Like, was she better than all the others? It was at the same level probably, but they hire her because she had that recommendation. So don't be afraid of that. And then some don'ts. Don't put your photos, don't put all your details. You work in cyber, like be careful what you put in your CVs. Don't use buzzwords just because they are buzzwords. Don't list all the certification if you can't back it up. And also don't oversell yourself. I saw so many things like, I'm a security analyst, I'm a security engineer, I know Microsoft. Then you go to an interview, they ask you a question, what you do. So these are probably the don't are more important, but like definitely on the soft skills, start with these kind of things. And also,
Look, let me just jump in
oh
and
yeah,
add my
sorry.
bits and pieces. I'm jumping the queue here. There is another person with their hands up, but I'm gonna tell you guys from my point of view as someone who recruits people for my business, right? Um, the interview process starts before the actual interview. That's how I operate, right? So I'll give you a little bit of a scenario. So as you can imagine, I get hammered by people asking for an opportunity on a daily basis via different channels. I get people that, and I've said that before in a presentation I did a couple of months ago. I have people that send me a file via, let's say, WhatsApp, like their CV. I just get a file out of the blue. I don't know who the person is. I just see name dash CV. Put yourself in my shoe. First, I'm not gonna open a file I don't know where it's coming from. So you setting yourself up for failure if you do something like that. If you hit me on LinkedIn and send me an attachment, right, via LinkedIn, I'm not gonna open it. I can tell you straight away. Now, and that's something I said before, and some of the people might have been to these talk that I was participating. If you approach me via LinkedIn and you say, Adri, I'm a cybersecurity, or I'm looking to jump into the cybersecurity space. I need some guidance from you. Would you have 5 minutes to have a quick chat with me just to give me some direction, right? Now you're making it personal. Now you're appealing to my willingness to help you. And I will give you 5 minutes of my time to give you direction, which puts you in a much better position than people who have not done that. Does that make sense? Like, now I know your face. Now I know you went above and beyond. You reached out and you asked for some of my time. And so you need to do small things that will give you an edge. There is nothing in this space that will give you a massive edge unless you've known me for 20 years and I know you're great, right? But other than that, if you're applying for any role, uh, be conscious of how you approach the person recruiting. Just sending your CV is not gonna cut it. Um, I think that those small things, when you sum them up, that's what's going to make the whole difference. And if you don't do that, the person who's doing whatever um, I'm talking about, they're going to be the ones getting the interview. So I will quickly share my screen with you guys because I received this picture yesterday. Sorry again, Luca. I
No, no,
promise I
go
will
for
be
it.
brief. But hopefully you guys can see my screen. I received this message via WhatsApp. So this guy, I don't know him. He's just sitting at uh, where is this place? Martin Place.
Oh
And
yes, marketplace. Yeah.
yeah, it's Martin Place, and he has like this board with his name, what he does, and so on and so forth. And I've seen people saying, I would never do that. You're probably not going to get a job. I'm not saying he's going to get a job, but he's going above and beyond. In my view, as someone who's recruiting for a role, I want the ones that stand out, right? And this guy, even though he's not a cyber guy, if I was hiring for what he's offering, I would definitely give him a call and say, mate, come and have a chat with me. First of all, congratulations on being brave enough to put yourself there. But here's the result. You're sitting here in front of me and you have an interview. So um, just wanted to add that bit that you are being interviewed before you actually sit for the actual interview. Do you agree, Luca?
100%. And you hit the nail in the end on the head there because the next step is like you need to be creative. You guys are competing. You guys are
Mm-hmm.
competing with a lot of people for very few roles and very few opportunities. This opportunity will grow, but like also the talent pool will grow a lot. What makes you different? If the CV all look the same, what makes you different if you go above and beyond? Now, this is great. Like the picture that you share, Adri, I loved it. I really do. Like this is literally going above and beyond, like at his peak. And I always like there was a guy, I think he was in the US, was a sales guy, and graduated as well. He dressed himself as a delivery driver. He went up with a box of donuts in the office that wanted to be, was a target client. He went up with the donut, left the donuts there, say goodbye, and in the donut there was his CV. In every donut, it was like a link to his CV. So like, hey guys, I'm the delivery guy that gives you donuts. Like, I know you want to open my CV if I put it in front of you, but like at least here you have like a sweet treat to go with it. They hired him. Now, it doesn't happen that it doesn't mean they're gonna hire you if you do that, but like be creative, guys. Be creative. That's the only thing that is left for us. Like when with in this world of AI, everybody's the same, and then, like in this world of like flattening down like the differences. Like we are human. Show yourself.
Absolutely. So Conrad had his hand raised. Conrad, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, hi, Luca.
Hi,
Am I
Coral.
audible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, hi. It's been for a couple of weeks I've been trying to connect with you. It's actually you answered a couple of my queries with the previous caller that you answered. Like, it's more for luck and the platform, entry level platform into the cyberspace is what I'm looking at. But in my case, I was just wondering. I do have 17 years of experience, but it's not the local experience out here in Australia. But I'm ready to, as you rightly said, the blue team is the way to go about. The defensive part, because I would understand the landscape of the Australian cyber landscape and to adapt myself into it. But how difficult it is to pitch that particular part of it, because even uh, I do realize, being a CISM certified, I don't want to just plunge into senior roles or anything. I want to understand the landscape here, understand the governance, the frameworks that are involved. But how do I, get that foot in the door
hmm
element into the cyberspace? Is finding it very difficult to, put across that part, that my inclination to learn and understand the cyber landscape out here by getting
Yeah.
into those blue team roles.
Yeah. First, Cora, well, thank you for asking. Do you have 17 years experience in cyber, not in Australia, or 17 years experience in different areas? Sorry, I didn't get that.
I've been 17 years into IT, networking, and
Okay.
infrastructure, data centers, and all.
Okay.
I've been over the last couple of years. I've gotten. It's been only 2 years that I've got into the information security space back in
hmm
India.
hmm
So I've just been here in Australia 5 months. So I'm just trying to find that.
Yeah. Look, Australia is a funny one because it's it's kind of like an echo chamber where they value Australian experience way more than international experience. Do I agree? Not really, but unfortunately, it's a matter of fact. It's changing because like it's becoming more global, but getting the foot in the door, yes, it's not easy. I hope you have like a visa situation all sorted so you can work full time because is that the case,
Yeah,
Coran? Yeah, cool,
no,
cool, cool.
no, that's perfectly. It's a permanent PR resident, so there's no issue in that part.
Okay, okay. Look, you already like step ahead of other people here.
Mhm.
You have an advantage. Probably you need to review the process, how you apply and how you approach people. Now, I don't know what's your approach. I don't know what's your apply strategy, but my idea, you need to be strategic. You need to be proactive, strategic, but also, as Adri said before, you need to respect the people and the time of the people that you're talking to. Your target audience, imagine that Adri own a business, I own a business, I'm talking with like hiring manager, C-level. These guys, their time is very valuable. So if they accept or are willing to give you even 2 minutes of their time to answer your question, and trust me, they will, you need to go there with like, first of all, a reason to call or to talk. You need to be direct, don't fluff around, but also not too direct. So there is the communication piece that probably need to, and a bit of refinement. And I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong, but like try some A/B testing. Try like to approach in different way this kind of like target audience that you have. Like narrow down you say like you work like 2 years in GRC, you have a CISM and everything. Write down a very short summary, like, hey, I work in this and this and this. I'm here in Australia. Would love an opportunity for a chat. Don't go and send your CV straight away. Don't go, hey, I'm looking for a job. This is it. Yes, of course, you're looking for a job. Like, ask for a chat. Do a bit of social selling first. See where your target audience like interact and like get a warm intro. Warm it up a little bit. You can't go and like and hit the last shot of the game, the winning shot without warm up first or without playing 38 minutes before. You need to warm it up. So try different approach current. It might work. You're gonna receive a lot of no. That's a matter of fact. Like everybody else, that's life. Life is not easy, but I'm sure if you like change strategy, change approach, and do some A/B testing, and I'm sure like that will come up. Also, be active in the community, like all the stuff offline that are going to be reflected online. And that's probably the most important thing. Like cybersecurity in Australia is probably the tightest and the biggest and most beautiful community in the IT space. Let's leverage that.
Awesome. Sarah has her hand up. Sarah, do you want to unmute yourself? Hopefully didn't lose her.
Sarah.
In the meantime, let me see if there are any questions. She might be having some issues. So I'm studying. So we have a question from Sumathi. Hi, I'm studying in second last year of degree, major in cybersecurity and looking for internship. Does the internship should be the role I want to work with or getting any IT internship? Isn't any internship any opportunity in your company? Is any internship? Is there an internship opportunity in your company? Something like that.
Well, that's probably a question for you, mate.
Yeah. I get asked that question every day. So
I know.
keep your eyes open.
Look, definitely, like if you're studying and you're like, second last year, you still have time, you're still studying, you still have like all your life ahead. Definitely, internship, anything that can, like enhance your career, give you more experience, anything is good. Like grab that train when it passes. Don't be afraid. Don't be too picky as well at the beginning. Have a path. So what I always say, like in cyber especially, it's such a broad area, such a broad market. It's difficult to like, at 20, 21, 23, even at 30, 35. God, I wish when I was 20, I knew what I was going to do. I will never imagine I would be in Australia at 38, having my own company and recruitment. Never. But life take you somewhere, and you need to take like the opportunity, the omen, and everything. Like you need to leverage that. Have a pathway, have a strategy in mind where you want to go, what you like, what you need for getting there. But also like don't be too picky at the beginning, especially if a train comes, take it. If you focus on like going in GRC because you love it, etc., etc. If an opportunity comes as a security analyst, take it because GRC is embedded in that, and vice versa. You will have the exposure, you will have more experience with that. Then at some point you might like security analyst more than being a GRC consultant. You never know. You never know. You don't know till you don't know.
Yeah, I'll add to that. So even if it's not let's say a cybersecurity analyst role, if it's an IT role, you are one step closer to where you want to be. There are no shortcuts in life. Sometimes you need to walk the hard path, and you might need to take up, let's say, a help desk support kind of role. Start there.
Yeah.
When you're in, you approach, let's say, the IT team or the cyber team, the whoever the manager is, and say, hey, Adri, I work here. I'm in the support team. I would love to have an opportunity to work in the cyberspace. Whenever there is an opening, I would like you to think of me. Guess what? The very next opening that is, let's say, a junior role, you know there is a resource within the company that is interested. Why not get that person that went above and beyond and reached out to you and have a chat with them? So sometimes don't be discouraged if you don't land a cyber job as your very first role. Sometimes you might need to land a role, step sideways again, and once more to get your first opportunity in cyber. But come up with a plan and stick to that plan and make it happen. So just conscious of time. So Assam is saying, could you recommend a CV revamp service, a career switcher? I know it's frustrating after over a year of actively applying and no callbacks. Is there such a thing of CV revamp service, Luca?
Yes, there are plenty. Be careful. Be careful. Test them before. See what they can do. Don't get in the trap. Or I got a shiny CV. I gotta get a role. I say what we touched before is definitely more important than having a shiny CV. Of course, uh, need to be reflected on the CV. Yes, but not really a big fan. I put like something in the chat. There is a company that one of my friends started, Natalia. She started graduated.io, and it's basically she's building a community. She's building like a platform where graduates or people shifting career, like many here, can like put a CV. They have a one-on-one, and then like they have a community platform where to apply like for entry-level roles and stuff. Not only cyber, but definitely a good one. And then ask guys like you can send it, of course, to myself, to Adri as well. If you we won't be assuring that we can answer everything straight away because of course we're running poor time, but definitely more than happy. Like it's always good. As I say, keep a structure that is readable. When you do the CV, think about the problem you're solving for the company. It's like doing a reverse engineering, a threat analysis, right? All right, I'm applying for this role. I'm solving a problem for the company. I'm applying for the SOC analyst. What problem I'm solving? I'm going there and supporting the SOC. Da, 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 da. What my skills and what I can bring to the hiring manager to solve that problem. Talk about in that way. Talk about facts. They don't care about the classic. All right, yeah, I'm managing Azure Sentinel. Yeah, cool. What have you done with that? What can you do? Automating. Da, 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 da. What can you do with automation? What have you done with Python? What have you do with automating workflows and all this kind of thing and triaging? What's your process? Think about with this do mentality and outcome mentality. That's probably
100%. 100%. So Sarah is back. So she's asking, look, I have a question about the AI space in cyber. What trends are you seeing and what do you predict will be the growth areas moving forwards?
right. Let me get my crystal ball here. Oh, big question. Big question. Look, to be honest, we can't really predict much with the pace that AI is going. It's definitely a big change. It's definitely a big change. It's going to change things. Yes, it's already changing things. Absolutely, yes. Regarding cyber, let's talk about the compliance part first. There is like a new framework. I think it's 42001,
2001.
ISO 42001. That is kind of like is the next step to the ISO 2701 to basically is a regulatory plan for a whatever company is building and implementing AI within the business, and everybody does. It's changing a lot. What I predict is, and is already happening, people are gonna ask to do more with less.
I can
So,
guarantee you that.
right, right. And also, look, it's a very like debatable thing, but I think you guys are very lucky coming, in the market with all these tools available, because you don't need to go deeper in some technology or some space to be like a super specialized expert in I don't know, like Microsoft 365 engineering. There will be like very much facilitated. You have so many tools and material to study that in a very short time. So yes, AI is changing a lot. The growth areas, look, there's a dynamic back and forth attackers and defender that are going to use AI against each other. So there's tools coming out every day. It's all about like the mental capacity, like how to understand how it works rather than being a specific expert in one particular tool.
Yeah, Luca, if you allow me to add to what you just said, and it's something that these guys have heard before because I keep saying it. AI is not going to replace you.
No.
Someone who knows how to use AI will replace you, right? So if you don't know how to use AI, if there is a candidate that dominates it, that can give me value, answer questions. I was reading a report the other day that said managers are preferring to hire someone with less experience and more knowledge about how to use AI to their advantage than those who have heaps of experience and don't know how to use AI, right? I'm one of them. If I have to hire someone who is not, let's say, as experienced in whatever space we're operating, but the person knows how to use AI, um, that gives them a massive advantage because they're going to be able to pump out outcomes much
Yeah.
faster, right? Set aside the whole cybersecurity concerns with AI because you need to be smart when you use AI for sure from a cyber perspective. But I think when you put in a position when someone asks you a question, so you have three different paths to go. I know the answer and I'm gonna answer it. I don't know the answer, or I don't know the answer, but I know where to look for the answer, right? So don't be the middle guy. Don't just say I don't know.
Mhm.
When you don't know something, you say I don't know, but I will find out, right?
Yeah.
And that's the next thing or the little chip on top of everything that you're doing that sets you apart. Like I've been in this space for more than 25 years, and sometimes I still get to meetings and people ask me a question and I honestly don't know. And I'm like, I think something that made my career or made me feel more fulfilled and liberated was the ability to say I don't know. I don't know, but I will find out. Give me until tomorrow. Let me do a little bit of research on that, but let me find out for you. It's better to say I don't know than to say I know and give someone a wrong answer and look stupid. Because probably, and especially during an interview, if I ask you a question, I probably know the answer, right? So if I'm asking you about firewalls, right? Because I want to test your knowledge around firewalls. If you say, I don't know, Adri, I didn't have experience with this particular brand of firewall, but conceptually, I know what a firewall does. Awesome. Perfect response, right? Now, if you try to BS me, straight away, I'm like, this is not a good candidate because at some point I'm going to need to put him in front of a client. And if he bullshits in front of the client is going to know and they're going to come to me and I will have to clean up, right? So just a friendly advice of from someone who's made that mistake before. It's not it's not comfortable to
Yeah.
be in a position where you don't know the answer. It's not, right? But it's even more uncomfortable if you try to BS someone who knows the answer. Sorry,
100%.
sorry, you have a few more questions there. So thanks for the insight. So Sarah just saying thanks for the insights. Interesting to hear your take. I'm actively upskilling as many areas as possible, so I'm well equipped. Um, yes, so same for Sarah. Any further questions from anyone, or Luca, if you want to carry on? Sorry, maybe interrupted you. We have another 5 minutes. If you have time, maybe you can extend it for by like 2-3 minutes, but not much.
One thing, maybe two things. So LinkedIn, use LinkedIn, please. It's a great platform. Use it accordingly, always respecting the time who you're gonna target to. Go have a look. We can't talk about it much now, but like see what social selling is and like act accordingly. You don't need to post because you're not an expert yet, but like post and this kind of stuff. I can share like where is she? I want to share like this profile because she is, oh, what is it? Stop sharing, sorry. Anyway, sorry, go back. I want to make an example of one girl.
I can see your screen. If you're concerned, I can see your screen. Yeah. Final thoughts.
Oh, here we go. No, I wanted to share this. Perfect. All right. Harleen, we organized like a meetup 2 months ago called the Cyber Neighborhood. And it's a proper like meetup, not organized. There's no badges, no barrier, no mailing list. Anybody, we post something on LinkedIn. We catch up on Friday in Circular Quay at Jackson and George. And she turned up. And like most of the people were, oh, sorry, my cat is eating my string. She turned up and everybody was like a kind of executive level. So big personalities there. Turned up by herself with a friend only. And she was like there asking and introducing herself like to CISO, to CEOs, to CIO without any fear. Any fear. And now like at the second cyber neighborhood, she brought like a committee of like other students. And like basically everybody was like, oh wow, Arlene, you're the community manager now. So how many people here are like getting out there to community events, talking to people? And if you go there and like be out there, ask, make yourself known in a polite way, of course. And like they know you're looking for a role. They know. Everybody will know that. You're a graduate, you're entry level, you want a role. Simple. So this is one, and this is another one. Jason changed his career from like a very respectable career in media, and then he invested everything as very ballsy decision to change career in cyber. Finally, after 1 year of trying, advices, resilience, a lot of no's, a lot of like different and pivots on the approach that he was taking, finally now is getting a job after 1 year. So guys, it's gonna take time. Like, trust me, it's gonna take time. But if you get out there and if you do the right thing, 100% you will get a job one day. Also, one thing that I want to give to you, and that's an idea I got this morning. Why don't you guys build a community? Why don't you guys form a community of like people looking for this entry level? You're competing against each other, but like if you are sticking together, you're stronger. So people that hiring graduates, they will know the community and they will like, go and fish from the community for looking for people that are actually proactive and doing something. So that's an idea that I'm throwing to you guys. So why not?
Awesome. Very good. So Assam has her hand raised. Assam, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, please. Hi, Adri. Hi, Luca. Thank you so much for this session. Quick question regarding your, what I call a title. Now, this is not for me. I posted a question earlier about someone I know who's trying to switch careers. Now, there's been this debate on LinkedIn, especially, where some school of thought says, okay, don't say you're a cyber enthusiast. They won't take you seriously. Say you're a professional, or put the title that you want to be known for. So a cybersecurity engineer or analyst, even though you're just starting out. Another school of thought says, oh no, if you put your title, if you put a cybersecurity analyst, even if you're just starting out, they will think you're a fraud, and recruiters won't take you seriously because you're just starting out. So please, what's your take? Which do we go for?
Can I go first, Luca, before you come and give your
Go for it.
share your knowledge? I would say if you pose yourself to be someone who you're not, and you come to an interview, it's going to take me 2 minutes to figure it out, right? I would recommend, and Luca, please, if you come from a completely different angle, it's totally okay. I would say if you have on your LinkedIn aspiring security engineer, cool. We know where you want to go, right? We also know you're not there, right? So if I'm looking for someone who's looking to become a security engineer, it calibrates the meeting or the interview. I bring you in. I don't have an expectation that you know what it does or like what a person in that role would do, because you're aspiring to get there, right? That's my take, Luca. Sorry,
No,
you answer now.
100%. And good question, Assam, because like, LinkedIn is full of like crap. Simple as it is. And
You said
it is. And I work on LinkedIn. Is my main tool. However, let's be strategic here.
Okay.
Recruiter and companies are using LinkedIn to search for profile. If you really want to be an analyst or an engineer, yes, you need to put that, or at least those words, as Adri say, in your profile as a title, because otherwise you won't be found. Simple as it is.
Okay.
However, you put it in your intro, in your summary, I'm an aspiring, I'm a graduate, I'm an entry level, I'm an enthusiast, I'm a guru, whatever you want to put in your intro. But as a title, you need to reflect what you want to do. Otherwise, you won't be found. Simple as it is.
Okay.
And your CV as well. If they're not, it's a matter of fact, if those buzzword and critical words that people are using for a Boolean search to find you are not there, they're not going to find you. Simple.
Good point,
However,
Luca.
they're not going to look for you unless they're looking for a graduate. I'm sorry, you need to be the one.
Okay.
Like train won't come and like, hey, Sam, come, we need you because you're an aspiring cyber enthusiast. Ain't happening. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
You need to be the one, go and tell them why you're good for that role.
Okay.
If you keep applying, look, maybe in 1 year time, if you're lucky and if you're at the right time, you get a job, maybe. If you're not proactive and do out of your comfort zone, you won't get a role.
Okay. Thank you.
And one more thing, just to wrap up from me, and I want Luca to jump in as well. Don't be afraid to volunteer yourself and reach out to companies, any company, and say, guys, I'm looking to get into the cyberspace. I want to volunteer. It comes at a cost, which is your time, right? And maybe you're not going to get paid or whatever. But if you say, I want to come in and spend, let's say, 2 hours of my day with your team, just to see what you guys do. Guess what? So if you come in and we see that you're really motivated, you want to make a difference, uh, probably you're going to be the one that we're going to pick, right? So sometimes it's the old saying of a step or 2 steps back to move 3 steps forward or four, right? So if you if as part of your strategy you say, I'm gonna volunteer half a day of my week to to achieve this objective, and you put yourself out there and say, it doesn't need to be a cyber company like mine. It could be like an NGO. So guys, I know you're tight on budget. Is it okay if I offer half a day of my time? I've been studying cyber and I want to help you. You might get a yes, right? And once you're there, you got two things. First, you're closer to someone who can possibly hire you, and two, you have the experience now. So you go from I have no experience whatsoever to now I have some experience, and it's always you to find a role when you're employed. right?
Yeah.
It's just the way life is. Sorry, Luca, if you have something to add.
No, it like that was one of my points as well on being proactive and strategic. Even ISA, Hisaka, B-side, all the conferences, ask for be a volunteer, or even like for non-for-profit companies, or even your local bowling club that need like an IT support. Go there and ask it. Do it. Do it. It's all
That's
experience,
it.
guys. It is, and you gotta show up. You gotta put the hard work to get the rewards. Otherwise, I mean, unless you're very lucky, guys. But even there, like, what benefit you get? Like, you show up. Just show up. Just do it. Don't be afraid. And travel as well. I'm a big fan of traveling, of course, but like, life experience comes when you get out of the comfort zone. If you're there behind the keyboard all the time, like applying and waiting for the holy grail to come, you won't get anything. Just get out there. Get out there, but get that experience. Like, see the world with your eyes.
Totally. 100%. Folks, conscious of Luca's time. It's been a great session. Luca, thank you so much for your time. As you know, we're going to be posting this on YouTube as well for those who missed it. But hopefully can have you back at some point in time, Luca. I think this has been a very, like I'm reading the comments.
Oh,
People are
wow. That's nice.
thanking you for sharing your knowledge. It's been a pleasure to have you with us, and I see you guys next week or in 2 weeks from now. Thanks all.
Amazing. Thank you,
Thank
Adri. Thank you,
you.
guys.
Thanks
And
a
Thank you,
lot. Bye.
guys.
connect
Bye.
on
Thank you.
LinkedIn if you want to.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Luca. Bye.
Ciao, Adri.